Hey guys, welcome back. Sorry I got disconnected, but in between that, it was like a 5-minute part that it transitioned me into a new character that I get to play. So it goes back in, I think, like 4 months back to prior to all this. So. Hopefully it's saved to that point. Yeah, if not, it's only like 5 minutes. See, 4 months earlier. Alistair, but not Alistair Thorne, a different Alistair. Maester Martin. It's a lot of lore here, a lot of Game of Thrones lore, that's what makes the game really appealing. A lot of Game of Thrones lore. Alright, I already did his character screen. Now, he looks like he's more like he looks like a red priest. It's definitely a red priest. There's one-handed weapons. I went to basically swords and I mixed them up with armor, so medium armor.
It is a dying town! River Spring is dying! You, Aubrey! With things as they are, what choice do we have?
If things are so bad, what do you propose to do?
It's been too hard for too long. It's time to revolt. We must take matters into our own hands. We'll take up arms.
If you follow that path, the army will have no choice but to fight against you. Do you want this to end in blood and tears?
You don't know what you're talking about, stranger. The house is dying. The army of River Spring is but a shadow of what it was. You obviously know nothing of the misery we suffer here.
That may be, but I do know that violence is answered with more violence. This path never ends well.
We're already suffering. What is it to us if we die of hunger or by a sword?
What has happened here? These lands were once thriving.
It's the Lords. It's been too long since they cared about what happens in their own lands. Neighboring lords have taken the chance to grab some of our land, and nothing is done to stop it. And now that Lord Sarwick is dead, it will only get worse. We must do something.
But there are still Sarwicks in River Spring.
Don't make me laugh. The eldest fled years ago. As for the others, they're no better than he. Anyway, this concerns only the people of River Spring, stranger.
So be it. I pray that your choices will not lead you to reckless acts. May R'hllor light your path through the shadows.
Where's Preston? How long has it been since you sold a single ounce of butter? We can't afford to buy your butter, brother.
Butter, brother? Oh, that almost rhymes. You good one. Okay, not even close, buddy. Cancel. Oh. Can buy Jack's clock, so why even try? River Spring.
Forgive my boldness, noble stranger, but I cannot let you walk into certain death like that.
What do you mean?
Well, I'm not sure of the customs in the free cities nowadays, but I wouldn't dream of entering Westerer's arm like that. And yet, as the smith labours day and night for us, it so happens that I sell the finest weapons. Blunt, cutting, perforating, you know what they say, my lord. Don't buy your blade until you know what you plan to stick it into.
Tell me more about cutting weapons.
The most popular. I know of no weapon passed down through families that is not a sword, my lord, and there are good reasons for that. Cutting weapons are especially designed to fight against light armor such as leather, and even the skin underneath. Do you need more information?
I have things to do.
Don't hesitate to come back and see me in the Merchant Square. I weep to see you so ill-equipped in this town. And don't forget you'll be wanting armor. After all, no matter the weapon you face, simple clothes will not protect you.
If you're wearing cloth, anything is good to go through. If the person's wearing leather, then axes is the best. Chainmail, swords, and maces of heavy armor. That's why you want to change it up. That's why you want to change it. What's up, Holmes? What's up? Me, bro. How you doing, bro?
Very nice robe you've got there.
Well,
that must be worth its weight in copper.
Copper, going. Is that a sly remark? What you got to say? Punch in the eye. People be leaving their silvers around?
Halt, priest. This town is in mourning. Access to the castle is closed during the ceremony.
I'm actually here to attend Lord Sarwick's burial.
I'm afraid that's not possible. I'm under strict orders to only allow entry to close kin. With the villagers' current grumblings, we don't want to risk problems.
I am Lord Reynold Sarwick's eldest son, and I am here to attend my father's funeral.
His eldest son? Do you take me for a fool? I have been at my post for more than 5 years, and I have never once seen your face.
It has been more than 5 years since I left River Spring. Please call on Maester Harwin. He knows of my arrival.
Well, we'll see about that, but I doubt he'll come here for you. The ceremony's about to start. John, go find Maester Harwin.
What is going on here? Why has John gone for the Maester?
Ryman, it's me, Alistair.
Several hells! Alistair? Graydon, I told you only family. That excludes peasants, dogs, and cravens who abandon their families.
Enough, Ryman. However long I was absent, this house is still mine.
How dare you? You disappeared without so much as a goodbye years ago, and now you return as if nothing happened.
The reasons for my exile are mine alone. I owe you no explanation.
I care about your reasons? It's your fault that Lord Sarwick is dead.
You've lost your head, cousin.
Your departure destroyed him. He was never the same again.
Your judgment is clouded, Ryman. I can smell the ale on your breath from here.
Told you you were drunk.
Stand back! I'll make you eat your words, priest!
I've never used this guy. I am so beat down here.
Enough! Do you not think we have enough dead here?
Maester Harwin?
Alistair, finally. I prayed for your return.
This traitor no longer has his place here, Maester Harwin.
Punch him in the eye.
He abandoned his castle and his family.
7 gods. Get a hold of yourself, Ryman. I wrote to him to invite him to Lord Sarwick's funeral.
Yeah, bro.
I prefer to leave than to hear more of this.
Alistair, what a relief it is to finally see you. I had help from my contacts in Bravos to inform you of your father's death. The funeral will be in the Godswood. The ceremony has already begun.
Why is it not held at the Sept?
It would be if it were not in ruins. River Spring is suffering on all fronts, I fear. Let us go now. Come with me, Alistair. Let us speak as we walk.
What happened?
Okay, so you can level up with me.
Here, Maester. How could my father allow things to get to this point?
You know, after you left, Lord Reynold changed. He began to live more and more in the past, and stopped taking care of his duties. Your sister quickly found herself managing more than she should have.
Eliana helped my father govern?
Well, these last few months, she's practically run the house herself. In spite of her efforts, she was unable to slow the inevitable ruin of her lands without a lord. But all is not so dark. Many of your father's vassals remain faithful to their oath. They have all come to the burial in order to honor his memory. We will speak of all this again after the ceremony. Let us make haste, I beg of you.
Some battles are won with swords and spears, others with quills and ravens. Tywin Lannister. Heck yeah.
Hello, Red Priest. I am Lady Eliana Sarwick, daughter of the late Lord Sarwick. You are just in time for the ceremony. Were you close to my father?
You have changed much in 15 years, little sister.
Alistair, why have you returned? We don't need you here.
Harwin told me of father's death. It was my duty to come.
15 years without any news. And he had to die for us to see you again. You would have done better to stay where you were.
I do not doubt that my departure was difficult for you.
Difficult? To say the least. Your disappearance was our father's ruin. Do you know how long I cried after you left? And how long I hoped for news of you?
I am sorry. I left Westeros without once turning back, it's true. I understand your reaction. It must have been unbearable for you. But I had to leave. Know that I never forgot you.
That's easy for you to say. And you should know that we here learn to live very well without you.
I understand your reaction, Eliana.
I doubt it. Go pay your last respects to father. We will speak later.
May the stranger, the eternal outcast, now guide you to the Father. And may he judge you fairly and deliver you from the torments of the seven hells. Your qualities were many. Above all else, you placed the prosperity of the family, so valued in the eyes of the Sarwicks. What you accomplished for your family, no matter.
Who is that man? I believe that is the elder Sarwick, the one who disappeared. He has certainly changed, but I recognize him.
What? He's gonna give him the kiss of life. Are you kidding me? That is awesome sauce. He's waking him up, isn't he? Oh, that'd be too cool. That'll be too cool if that happens. What? What's going on? Talk to me. Here's a red priest.
How could you desecrate our father's body that way?
I desecrated nothing. I performed the final kiss, the tribute that priests of R'hllor pay to the dead.
You may be a red priest, but you should respect the beliefs of Riverspring.
I did not intend to be disrespectful, little sister.
Do not think that it is easy for me to speak with you after all this time.
Please, Eliana, listen. I left Westeros without a goodbye, and you have every reason to be angry with me. 15 years ago, the war that King Robert Baratheon fought to claim the throne forced me to commit deeds which haunt me still. The very idea of returning to you was too painful. I did the only thing left for me to do. I left and began a new life elsewhere. Not long ago, I received a letter from Maester Harwin telling of Father's death. I could no longer hide myself. It was time to confront my past. What I regret the most, Ilyana, is that by fleeing to the other side of the waters, it is you whom I wounded.
All these years, I have thrown a veil over your memory. And you return at the moment when everything is in turmoil. I must be alone for the moment. I will see you later, Alistair.
Take your time, little sister. I understand.
Alistair, Maester Harwin would like to speak with you. He awaits you in the castle courtyard. And if I may add, you should be ashamed of that kiss during the ceremony.
My thanks, Ravella. I shall go and see him.
I am not sure there is more to discuss between us, Alistair. I am sincerely sorry for your loss. You know how much your father meant to me. Unless you are truly ready to listen to me, it would be best that you leave.
I knew you to be less ardent, Ravella.
And I knew you to be more respectful. This ceremony was held under the watch of the Seven, and your shameful act did nothing but needlessly shock and disgust decent people.
I am sorry, Septa. From now on, the rights of the Seven no longer concern me. I have chosen another path. Can you not see that you and all the lost souls of Westeros worship different rays of the same light? Your entire pantheon, your 7 gods. Do you not feel that they are just pieces of one whole, of something much bigger?
If you would listen to my lessons, you would know that for the sages, the 7 are but one. But in order to understand that, one must understand the full scope of their teachings. Perhaps it would be better to worship a simple wood fire like other red priests do. It's always easier to worship that which burns brightly.
The flame brings light and warmth. It is the source of life.
No doubt other creatures share your beliefs. Like those whores, for example. I've seen one of your kind in action. Thoros of Myr was his name. A fornicator and a drunk.
To err is to be human. Our order does not encourage lust, Ravella. But the pleasures of the flesh are not altogether forbidden, if they are carried out in an act of love. And I myself have seen fat septons give themselves over to drink. However, I don't judge all septons based on these rare cases.
I've heard it all. A heretic daring to judge a true believer?
I will not allow you to speak to me in this manner, Ravella. I respect your beliefs, and you will respect mine.
Okay.
Forgive me, my lord. I forgot my place.
Punch your eye.
Your fervor does you credit, Ravella.
Yes.
You raised me, as you raised my brother and sister. But I cannot allow one of my subjects to show me disrespect. Do you understand?
Of course. I shall be careful in the future.
I don't doubt it.
Yeah, I just gotta learn the combination of, you know, putting the right armor on. Well, of course, not die, but.
Ah, Alistair, there you are. Please leave us. So, you're not too unsettled by the situation here?
What I saw of the town upon my arrival was enough. It is a disaster. The people cannot go on like this. I have heard tell that neighboring lords have taken our people's lands.
Indeed. The poverty has worsened over the years. When neighboring lords became aware of your father's situation, they took advantage of the opportunity.
But they have no right to do so. Our lieges, the Lannisters, should have been notified.
Indeed. But our relations with them have suffered since your father held Tywin Lannister responsible for your departure. It was after his death that your sister decided to reopen talks by going to see the most influential member of their family. That is why she requested an audience with Queen Cersei Lannister at the Red Keep. It was made very clear our lieges will act once our land has a new master. So your sister worked towards this end. Riverspring has belonged to House Sarwick for generations. Ilyana has refused to marry a lord from any other house. So, the Queen has chosen a man for your sister.
Who is it?
Valar, your father's bastard son, your half-brother.
Valar? I left Westeros hoping never to hear that name again. It is out of the question for my sister to marry him. He shares our blood. How can the Queen condone a marriage which goes against nature?
You realize that if Ilyana were to wed another lord, she would take her husband's name. Being a bastard, Valar has no family name. It was the only solution to keep Riverspring for House Sarwick.
Why choose Valar for a suitor? What does the Queen want?
Exactly.
From what I heard, while accompanying your sister to King's Landing for her audience at court, Valar distinguished himself through his exploits. I know that the Queen enjoys surrounding herself with strong, devoted men. That is the case for Valar. By giving him this gift, she ensures his loyalty and increases her power.
But Valar was just a squire when he went off to war with me. It would take more than that to be a suitor worthy of our name.
Seeing him return alone from the war, your father blamed him for your disappearance. No matter how much Valar claimed to work for the prosperity of House Sarwick, your father wouldn't hear any of it. He cursed him and chased him away from Riverspring for good. Your half-brother was mad with rage and left seeking vengeance. Apparently, he spent several years at the Citadel, using education to compensate for his low birth.
A maester cannot become a lord.
He never became maester, but stopped at the rank of acolyte. He learned the art of war, studied the higher mysteries, and forged links. He was then thrown out of the Citadel several years later for studying the forbidden arts. He's been a sellsword ever since. His reputation spread quickly, and royal ears heard of him. In 2 years, he went from simple soldier to the Queen's Guard. He moves in the shadows. The nobles of the court fear him.
Valar. He has taken too much from me already. I cannot just stand by while he marries my sister.
There is something else of which we should speak. I would have liked to spare you this. I do not believe that your father's death was an accident. There are certain indications that lead me to believe that he was poisoned.
Are you sure?
Believe me, Alistair, I know this subject. The Strangler is a difficult poison to detect, but it leaves certain traces that cannot be caused by anything else.
Did father have any ongoing conflicts which could have prompted someone to murder him?
I am not certain, but there are rumors of a possible culprit.
Tell me who it is.
This may overwhelm you, but the rumors say that it is your younger brother, Garwin.
Garwin? He was but a child when I left.
He and Lord Reynold had some serious quarrels, and he disappeared on the very night of your father's death. We've had no news of him since.
Why? Why would he have done such a thing?
Maester Harwin, the people are rebelling. Rioting has broken out throughout the town.
With all of this festering discontent, it was only a matter of time before this happened.
Why would the people rise up with such violence?
Well, the lords left the castle after the burial with their fine clothes and all, whereas the villagers are starving. All of this flaunted wealth must have pushed them too far. Everything quickly erupted. They attacked the lords, taking them hostage.
How did things get this far out of hand?
One man used this opportunity to unite the mob against us.
I think I know who leads them. I crossed paths with a certain Tyrek when arriving, a rabble-rouser, telling people to take up arms.
Tyrek? I heard some guards say that he was getting people worked up in a marketplace.
Then that is where we must go.
Captain Ryman says that it's impossible. Our men are barely managing to keep them at bay at the castle doors. There are not enough of us to attempt an escape.
Where is Captain Ryman?
He is at the doors. He's the one that ordered the barricades.
7 hells! If Ryman deals with it, the revolt will end in flames and bloodshed.
Riverspring has already suffered too much. I must join Ryman. Riverspring needs me. I will not watch our land fall into ruins without acting.
Very well. But I beg you to be careful. You are a Sarwick. Act as a liege, Lord Alster, and know that your acts will have consequences.
I will do what must be done.
I am sure you will.
Can't get close. Well, well, look who's here. Dear Alistair. What have you come for, my good cousin?
I hope you're thinking more clearly than you were earlier.
I have no lessons to learn from a coward.
Let's not start that again. Ryman, I did not come here to fight with you. What can you tell me of the situation here?
We've almost regained control of the southern part of town. My soldiers are about to clean it out. But in the marketplace, there are still skirmishes between rioters and people loyal to our cause. Nobles who came for the ceremony are still being held hostage by rebels on the docks in the northern part of town.
Very well. Let's go, Ryman. I want to see this for myself.
Really? His lordship would like to see this for himself? Well then, I'd be happy to accompany you to see this. I cannot wait to see you reason with this gang of peasants. I hope that blade at your belt is not just for decoration. Here, take my flask. You might need it.
Alistair is a priest. Alistair is the priest of the Lord, which means he can manipulate fire. Once you have unlocked a warlord ability for the character, you can use fire ability. Cool crap. Okay.
Open this damn gate! We'll die of hunger! Have the gate opened, or we'll set fire to your cursed castle!
Calm down. There is no point in going to such extremes. I am aware that things are not going well here, but burning down the castle won't make things any better.
So, what do you suggest? We are starving!
As the son of the late Lord Sarwick, I will ensure that the castle's food reserves are distributed as soon as order has been returned.
The Sarwick's personal supplies? That just might do. Come along, men! Let's go home!
Open this gate. I'm going to town.
Understood.
Kyle, bloody lowborn.
Yeah, the gameplay, man.
Open this damn... We'll die of hunger!
Can't I...
So, what do you suggest? We are starving!
As the son of the...
Come along!
Open this gate. I'm going to town.
Understood.
Keep away. We're just returning the The town is ours. We hadn't planned on killing him, my lord. It was just to teach him a lesson.
I understand your anger, but I will not accept such behavior inside these walls.
The Father watches over you.
Captain, I knew I could count on you.
The fight is not over, my boy.
Try to find some place where you can
Make yourself useful.
Nothing else. Ooh, that's way more.
My God, are those my men? What are you doing here?
Captain, there are rebels everywhere. We had to hide here to get away from them. With only crossbows, we wouldn't have lasted long against a horde of peasants armed with pitchforks.
Are you men of the guard or not?
But it's an enormous crowd, armed to the teeth in the marketplace.
We will attempt to resolve the situation, but I will need your help.
Yeah.
Go and position yourselves high on the roofs and balconies with a clear view of the square.
At your command, my lord.
Crossbowmen up high? I quite like that idea. It will lend weight to our argument.
They will not fire, Ryman. Our sole objective is to make the villagers see reason.
He has a missed opportunity to get this guy to come over here, because hey, you saved him, you should come over here and be able to
Kyle, bloody Lobons, go.
There you go. Too late though. Oh, the gameplay is just so not fun. The gameplay is so not fun.
Kyle, bloody Lobon scum.
Many men of the Watch are dying today.
There are so many people, and they are so well organized. Too organized for a simple rebellion.
I'm sorry, my lord. Tyrek asked us to keep them here for as long as possible. Do not kill us. We beg of you.
You chose sides by participating in all of this. It is time to take responsibility for your actions.
Out of a bad situation, Captain. We'll join the others when we're ready.
You are completely mad. Nothing good will come of this revolt.
You'd better think well, Baker. If you're not with us, you're against us.
Please, Preston, just listen to yourself. We've lived in the same town since we were little.
What's going on here? Attacking the castle guards wasn't enough for you. You have to fight amongst yourselves, too.
Ah, there are the guards.
Traitors! At least he's one of ours. He suffers with us and fights with us. He's the only one who's dared to act while we die in squalor.
I understand. I will ask that food from the castle be distributed, but first you must stop this revolt.
You would do that? Swear by the Seven, and we will put down our weapons.
The Seven are not my gods. I swear to keep my word by the divine light of R'hllor.
I know nothing of your god, but I trust your word.
The people will never be abandoned again. Trust me.
My thanks, my lord. I was so afraid the situation would get out of hand.
Unfortunately, Riverspring has seen too much of its own blood these last hours.
Tyrek promised them that there would be no innocent victims, and those poor sods believed him.
Giving out the castle's food like that, the villagers will be thankful for it, but it won't last for long.
Make sure whatever I have on is what I was wrong. They were set. Gotcha.
Shit! The captain of the guard! Not a step further, or we will kill all of these lords.
What the heck, dude?
Bastards! They're going after the burial guests. How do you want to proceed, Alistair?
People of Riverspring, I am Maester Martin. Why are you attacking these innocent people?
We've been dying of hunger for years, while these lords and ladies with their jewels just strut around us like peacocks.
Start by letting these people go. Nothing can be resolved while you still threaten them.
Free them? You must be joking. The port merchants are all penniless. We ask only for enough to buy new wares and reopen our stalls.
Our lands are sick and the castle is low on coin. But these lords here are under my protection, and Riverspring will pay for their release. Ryman, hand them your purse. Eliana will repay you at the castle.
You have some guts. I'll make sure you repay me. Here, beggars. Now get out of my sight.
Thank you, Lord Alistair. You acted like a true lord.
I don't know.
Your talents as a diplomat are equal to your father's, Alistair.
Your compliment warms my heart, Garrison. You should take advantage of this calm to go home. The situation here should return to normal soon.
You're right.
You acted admirably, my lord.
What were you doing, ferryman?
The lords wanted me to help them leave the town, but these brutes attacked us before I could cast off the moorings. It's a good thing you arrived when you did. I didn't think I'd make it. Let me know if I can return the favor one day.
Pay a ransom? You are aware that our coffers are empty.
What are you doing? This is no time to stand about. The town is rife with fire and bloodshed.
I know it better than most, my lord. I lost my 3 sons today. There's nothing to keep me here any longer.
I understand your pain, but suicide is not the solution. Keep hold of your life, and Relor's benevolence will soothe your soul.
Relor? What do you mean?
Relor is the warmth in your home, the comfort of a mother's breast, and the sweetness of a woman's words. Go to him, and the path will seem less dark.
Perhaps I...
Stop! Leave that man be!
We're just taking back what is ours. These cursed lords have made our life hard for far too long.
Perhaps you want us to slit your throats, like the vultures you are.
It's been too long since you received just rewards for your labor, but things will change. Our town will soon be filled with the light of Relor.
Relor? What are you going on about?
Go home, and thank the Lord of Light for sparing your lives today.
Let me go! I beg of you!
Many thanks, my lord. I don't know if I'd still be alive without your help. I think I can get into the castle on my own.
Kind of like the way it goes through, so you start getting...
The town has gone completely mad. We must stop this as soon as possible.
You have to knock these idiots around to get them to understand.
Not this time, Ryman. The people of River Spring are our responsibility. I'm going to put a stop to all this senseless killing.
Exactly the same. And everywhere, dude. They are everywhere. Ooh, perp. Perp.
Do not stay here if you don't wish to end up like him. I warned you.
There you go. Finish him off. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Spare me, I beg of you.
Did you listen to this man as he begged you for mercy?
But he just struts around in finery while we starve.
I should slit your throat for what you did. Leave here before I change my mind.
You're a good man, my lord.
Yeah, but you're not.
You saved me from a terrible fate, Alistair. I am ever so grateful.
Jesus Christ. How much? Okay.
Open the gate. I'm returning to the castle.
Very well.
Firing squad. Don't kill him.
Ah, there you are, Captain. We were about to execute these men. They must learn who's in charge here.
These people must have committed serious crimes if they are to be executed.
They were amongst the rioters. They must be guilty of something.
If you execute people without reason, the situation will only grow worse. Allow me some time to question them.
What shall we do, Captain?
These vermin don't deserve such kind treatment. But fine. Let's see what my cousin is made of.
Tell us why you're here, friend.
They started it. We just came to ask for something to eat. Shut your mouth, scum. You killed one of our men in the port and you will pay for that.
This guard claims to have seen you at the port storehouse.
I was there with the others to demand food, my lord. But I'd already left when that guard got an axe through the head.
What is this man being accused of?
My lord, this man was seen in the port, where the rioting broke out.
And you suspect that he is responsible for this unrest?
One of our guards was killed in front of the storehouse. Someone must pay for that.
Let him go.
Very well.
This man was found near the dying body of one of our men. Look at him. He's pissed himself. You don't need more proof than that.
What were you doing near this guard's body?
I beg of you, my lord. I am innocent. I swear it by the Seven.
That is not what I asked. Why were you close to the body?
I am innocent. I did nothing. I killed no one.
This man apparently killed a guard.
Everything leads us to believe it, my lord. We found him carrying an enormous knife.
What were you doing carrying a knife?
Well, because I'm an apprentice to the butcher in the marketplace, my lord. I use the blade in my work, nothing more.
Did you find him with the blade in his hand?
No, we found it in his pouch. But the blade was caked with dried blood.
Take him to the dungeons.
Very well, my lord. You're finally to die, you piece of shit.
I've nothing to do with all this. My lot kept out of it from the start.
I don't give a damn. You've been a pain in our arses for far too long.
What were you doing during the rioting?
I live in the inn overlooking the port with some friends. We haven't set foot outside since the revolt started. A group of armed guards arrived and dragged me off in the middle of a game of cards. So, that is River Spring justice, huh? Quick executions without reason?
For what crime do you wish to punish this man?
He belongs to an organized gang currently ruling over the port.
They hold the merchants to ransom. They all pay with coin or their lives.
We have good relations with the merchants on the port. They appreciate our protection.
Protection? Don't make me laugh. We finally have the chance to get our hands on him. River Spring will be better off without him.
Send him to the dungeons. The situation in town is too dire to let him roam freely.
Our friend already knows the way.
You're making a grave error, my lord.
You'll pay for what you did, whore.
I wish you had been in your squalor's house as it burned.
If you set his house on fire, you do realize that a lord can cut off your hands for far less than that.
Oh, please, don't cut off my hands, my lord. Your guard there. He took advantage of the rioting to violate my little sister. I found her in tears, unable to speak.
You can't call that rape. The girl didn't even put up a fight.
I'll get you and make you eat your own shit.
A fire started during the rioting, the rape of a young defenseless girl. You will both go to the dungeons of River Spring.
Are you done, my lord?
Yes, but no one is to take such decisions in the future without telling me first.
That's right.
Try to at least hear what they have to say before passing sentence. Is that understood?
Yes, my lord.
My lord Sarwick, Tyrick, the leader of the revolt, has turned up at the castle doors. He will only negotiate with you.
The traitor finally shows his face. It's time to put a stop to this madness.
Do not take this man lightly. Guard, tell him I'm on my way.
Very well, my lord.
Definitely the game's strength is the fact that there's a lot of lore. There's a lot of questioning. I mean, you got back and forths going on. You got a lot of pushing of the storyline, and you have switching of characters. Once you learn to do that, it seems to be a little bit smoother transitions to the next step. It has awesome ability to keep you going just to see what's about to happen next. I wish the actual combat wouldn't be so clumsy and clunky and stuff like that. I want it to be a little bit more fluid, like same thing, just learn the actions and press certain buttons to do those actions on the fly as you go, and you're able to move a little quicker, and it's just I don't know, it's just not my type of gameplay. So I keep giving it a chance just because the story is so riveting that you want to see what else is going on and to see how far it takes you, and the fact that you are doing actual decisions that may or may not cause certain things to happen, you know. So if the hope for something good to happen out of all this is what keeps you going to play and do the right decision, how you would actually handle it in real life. So for that, the game is super powerful, and I'll leave you with that. Thank you guys for watching. See you on the next one.